You're watching Morning News today on eNCA. The days of skop, skiet and donder are over. Those are the words of Police Commissioner Riah Phiyega, who's on a mission to demilitarize the police service. Phiyega says we cannot have a professional South African police service if the service is not demilitarized. But she says this does not mean officers should not use force. Phiyega says appropriate force should be used when the situation calls for it. The National Commissioner is joining us now live in the studio for more on this. Good morning, Commissioner. Thank you very much for your time.
Morning.
I see in the true spirit of demilitarization, you are not wearing your uniform today, and I will desist from calling you General Phiyega this morning. Thank you very much, ma'am, for being here. You seem to be singing a different tune to your predecessor, in this case, Bekele, who brought in this militarization thing with him. Why the change in policy? Why do you think it's necessary now to review that?
Thank you very much for the invitation and for this conversation. I think first and foremost we would know that we're on a journey as a country where a plan has been put together, clearly articulating the aspirations of South Africa on a number of issues. One of those is how we will be meeting out our services in terms of safety and security. And the issue of demilitarization is sitting in there to say, in this South Africa that we aspire towards, what are we looking for? We're looking for a service that is professional. We're looking for a service that embraces the spirit of human rights. We're looking for a service that is focusing on service to the people, yet without being unable to do their work, be using all the levers and the capacity and the abilities that they've been given by the law. So this is where we are going, and we're saying it's not something that you just wake up and say, today you are militarized. What does it mean? You have the rank and the name, or tomorrow remove the rank. It is a much deeper issue. So we need to look at all those levels.
Now, how do your colleagues feel about it? I mean, this is like could be like a drastic measure, even if you're still on a journey. Are they with you, your colleagues? And also, just on the other side of that question, you've got the public who believe that, you know, if you have a military police, you're showing strength and you'll deal with the criminals appropriately.
It is important for the police to remain firm and tough. Force is a tool that the police have, and they will always have it. But there are very clearly defined parameters of using that force. And that doesn't mean in any way that police should not use that aspect of their doing the work. You are asking about how my other colleagues are feeling. You know, the issue of this demilitarization, this is why we had a colloquium last week. We believe it is an issue where we must engage, embrace all the views, listen to all the advice, take into consideration all the factual, intellectual, academic, practical views to say, how do we define this demilitarization? Because then, as I talk to you, you are probably having another view to say, what is demilitarization? Is it waking up and removing the ranks? Do I become a different policeman the following day? Absolutely not. Is it about training our police, professionalizing them? Is it about values education? Is it about Batupili principle? So all those issues should be taken into account so that me and you, and me and the member, and other citizens that get services from us come to a point where we understand that we seem to be speaking a common language in terms of what do we mean by demilitarizing the police.
Okay, in very simple terms, it is a journey. Things should not take too long to be changed. What's your timeline in making sure that the professionalization of the police service takes effect?
Okay, let me start off by saying, last week, for instance, we had a colloquium with a lot of stakeholders and role players. We had professors from universities who've written about this subject, by the way, and we invited them to say, come and talk to us about what you've written. You've been researching, you've been doing that, and we had a very robust engagement with them. We had people such as the Human Rights Commission to say, come and talk to us. What does it mean to you? So that we can talk. We were sharing also as the police to say, what is it that we're looking for? We covered a number of issues. We discussed issues such as training. We looked at how we offer our services, the places from which we offer our services, and we'll be launching very soon what we call a frontline service delivery in terms of our stations. From a timing point of view, really we are, the whole issue of a demilitarization, we have what we call the MSTF, which is the strategic framework of government. In the next 5 years, we want to start seeing some of those elements coming through.
But that change, will it make you more effective as a police service in dealing with crime?
It would, because let's take for an example, I'm talking to you about frontline service delivery. What do I say? I'm saying the face of police is the police station. And if the police station is not professional, is not functioning well, when you come to the station, you are not going to leave there fulfilled. And what do I mean by saying the police station should do what it's supposed to do? Then you must come into a clean police station. You must come into a station where police want to say to you, have you been helped? What can we do for you? The queue is long, but we will be attending to you. You must come into a station where you see that very simple things. When you ask for a bathroom, you are able to go into a bathroom that functions, that works, that there's comfort for you.
So you talk about all the basics must be right in terms of service.
Absolutely, all those issues.
Okay, now let's just come to a current matter now. I mean, that's your journey that you're on to, and we'll be tracking the progress there and hopefully talking to you some more in the future about it. But let's come to practical cases. Let's just use the example of the Senzo Meyiwa's case. We see police arresting a suspect, holding a press conference, saying that this is our man. The following week, the prosecution authority says, no, there's not enough. The matter is thrown out of court. It's about a month now, for instance, since Senzo Meyiwa's murder. Where are we at with that? What do you say about that?
Let me say to you then, when a crime such as that happens, or another one similar to that happens, somewhere else in Bochum, in Limpopo, as police, we remain very committed to solving and investigating that matter and bringing it into court for conviction. I want to say to you on the matter of Senzo and many others, just like the Mwepi case, we're working round the clock as the police. And indeed, we have a dedicated, seasoned and professional team that is investigating this matter. I want to say in front of South Africans, thank you for the community participation that we're having, because it is with that participation that we're going to go elsewhere. And again, to remind ourselves that as the spokesperson of the National Prosecuting Authority was before this very television to indicate that this matter is provisionally withdrawn. It remains an issue of priority, and even those persons remains persons of significance and of interest to us as the police.
Are you therefore saying, Commissioner, that the police did their proper investigation into Senzo Meyiwa's case, for instance, in the Little Tigran Morris's case as well, where a similar case where the suspect is walking free currently?
You may call it walking free. Remember that in that case of Tigran Morris, the people who have been at the scene are the people who are going to assist us to identify these people. They are going to assist us to identify the people who are the perpetrators of the crime. So we have to work with them. If tomorrow I come to you and you had a case and you look at me and say, this is the victim, and if you're not sure, and then tomorrow you look at me again and say, General, I'm not sure, we must exercise that caution as law enforcement officers, but we are again very committed to ensure that this case is also resolved. We have resolved many. You know, last year, a few years ago, there was the issue of Lawrence Mwepi, and today we're able to say we have brought the perpetrators to book.
So you can tell us with confidence that whoever killed Senzo Meyiwa, whoever killed Little Tigran Morris will be arrested and the police will be successful in that regard.
We shall leave no stone unturned. We work very closely with the NPA, it's a value chain, we talk to each other, we shall continue to investigate and we shall ensure that those perpetrators are brought to book.
Thank you very much. That's National Police Commissioner Riah Phiyega.